Life inside Switzerland's isolated mountain villages. The secret to survival against the odds. Imagine a place where breathtaking beauty acts as both a blessing and a formidable cage. In the heart of the Swiss Alps lie villages untouched by the relentless march of modern life. Their existence, a testament to an extraordinary human spirit. How do these communities not only survive but thrive amidst an isolation so profound it redefines self-sufficiency? Discover the untold story of a life lived on the edge, where ancient traditions clash with subtle modernity, and every season brings a new battle for survival against the stunning, unyielding embrace of the mountains. Then don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an adventure into the unknown. Let's explore the secrets of our world together. The very mountains that tourists pay to see are the very walls of a prison for the people who live here. This is the central paradox of life in the high Alps. The sublime beauty that defines Switzerland on postcards is, for its most remote inhabitants, a daily confrontation with profound geographical isolation. These are not towns connected by sprawling highways. They are pockets of civilization clinging to steep valleys and high plateaus. Tethered to the world by the most fragile of threads. Access is an exercise in effort and risk. It means navigating treacherous hairpin turns on roads barely wide enough for a single vehicle, roads that cling to cliff faces with a terrifying grip. For some, the only way in or out is a cable car, a steel box suspended over a vast ciel emptiness. These natural barriers impose a constant, underlying tension.
In world news, a 64-year-old man remains missing after a huge mass of rock and ice from a glacier crashed down on a Swiss mountainside yesterday.
Essential services, taken for granted in urban centers, become a matter of life and death. The journey to the nearest hospital can exceed an hour, a daunting reality even under ideal summer conditions. When the first snows arrive, those routes become perilous, and often completely impassable. This physical separation, forced by the unyielding terrain, does more than just limit movement. It shapes the very soul of the community's geography, while a formidable constraint also acts as a fierce protector. It is a shield that preserves ancient traditions, local dialects, and a rhythm of life that has vanished from the world below. But there is also talk, mere whispers, of an old, abandoned path, a route through the mountains no one dares to use anymore. Its story lost to a winter, harsher than any in living memory. An elder villager stands at his window, watching the first flakes of snow begin to drift down from a gray sky. They land silently on the single road that leads out of the valley. He is not worried, merely accepting. The geographical isolation is a simple fact. The real challenge is not in the terrain itself, but in how life is sustained day after day, when the rest of the world has all but forgotten you exist. In a world obsessed with productivity, the most important work here is invisible. The unspoken pact of mutual survival, the strength of community bonds. Once the geographical reality is accepted, life adapts, beating to a different drum, one measured in seasons, not seconds. The daily routine is a testament to this rhythm. Deeply rooted in agriculture and livestock farming, families live off the land, their days dictated by the needs of their animals and the slow, deliberate process of creating artisanal cheese, a craft passed down through generations. This is a life of constant manual labor, a relentless but meaningful series of tasks that sustain the village. Here, practicality is taught from birth. Children learn to chop and stack firewood, not as a simple chore, but as a fundamental lesson in foresight and survival. They grow up with a rare kind of freedom, one intertwined with immense responsibility, understanding that their contributions are vital to the family unit. This shared sense of purpose forges an incredibly close-knit society. In these villages, where everyone knows one another, assistance is not something you ask for. It is something that is given. Help arrives not after a call, but after a need is silently observed. An unspoken understanding ensures that no one faces hardship alone because the failure of one household weakens the entire chain. This interdependence finds its most vibrant expression during traditional festivals. These gatherings, tied to harvests or religious dates, are more than simple celebrations. They are crucial moments of reinforcement, where shared food, music, and dance strengthen the social fabric. Yet, even amidst the joy, there is an undercurrent of urgency, a collective awareness of the coming cold. As the last dance ends and the laughter fades into the crisp mountain air, a silent truth settles over the valley. The joy of this gathering is not just for the bounty they have secured. It is the final, communal breath before the great silence descends. When the last echoes of the festival fade, the change begins. It is not gradual. It is a declaration. Here, winter is not a season. It is a siege. The first heavy snowfall is the signal that the war has begun. What follows is not panic, but a focused, almost ritualistic preparation that carries an ancestral weight. This is the ultimate endurance test, and survival depends on foresight. In the weeks leading up to it, the daily routine intensifies. Firewood is stacked into fortress-like walls against the cold. Basements and cellars are filled with preserved foods, enough to last for weeks or longer. Generators are tested, and basic medicines are stored away, a crucial buffer against the complete isolation to come when access to a doctor becomes impossible. Then, the storm arrives. The world outside vanishes behind a wall of white, and a profound silence descends upon the snow-covered mountains. Broken only by the wind, for days on end, villages can be entirely cut off, their existence shrinking to the four walls of a home. Life becomes internal. Outdoor activity is reduced to the absolute essentials. This is when the community's strength, forged through seasons of cooperation, is most critical. Neighbors, connected by whatever paths can be cleared, exchange supplies and check on the elderly, ensuring the human chain remains unbroken. Crucial routes between houses are cleared not by a distant municipality, but by the able-bodied. Shovelinhand, a loaf of bread, a portion of stew, or a few extra logs for the fire become more than just supplies. They are messages that say, "You are not forgotten." Inside, with windows fogged over and fireplaces crackling, a unique atmosphere takes hold. It is a time for repairing tools, for crafts, for rest, a period of intense loneliness and yet profound togetherness. The air fills with the scent of pine from the fire and slowly simmering meals, a comforting aroma that holds the biting cold at bay. The battle with nature may be temporarily paused, but the siege is far from over. Inside a home, amidst the ancient quiet, a small, blinking light from a satellite router offers a strange, modern pulse. It is a sign that the outside world, though physically absent, is still present in ways that pose a different kind of challenge. In the ancient quiet of a home buried in snow, that small, blinking light from a satellite router represents a profound question. In a place so defined by tradition, what is the role of modernity? The surprising answer reveals the villagers' deepest philosophy. They have satellite internet and discreetly installed solar panels. And many homes now have modern heating systems instead of relying solely on wood stoves. Yet, these villages are not stuck in a confused battle between past and future. Instead, they have forged a delicate and intentional balance. Here, technology is not a replacement. It is a carefully selected tool. It is adopted only when it supports the existing way of life, not when it threatens to overwhelm it. Many residents still choose the old ways, not out of necessity, but out of pride. They cook on wood-fired ovens, valuing the taste and tradition over convenience. They mend their tools and clothing, preserving skills that have been passed down for centuries. Modernity is seen as a support system, one that makes life easier but does not alter its fundamental essence. This quiet negotiation between old and new is most visible in the younger generation. A fascinating trend has emerged where young people who left for education or work in the cities are now returning. They bring with them new ideas for generating income, such as developing sustainable rural tourism or selling artisanal products like cheese and crafts online, reaching a global market from their remote valley. However, they do so without severing their roots. They are weaving the digital world into the fabric of an ancient one, creating a hybrid existence that is both resilient and relevant. Progress here is not measured by speed or disruption. It is a slow, respectful integration. It is as if technology had to ask for permission to enter, and was only accepted when it proved it could help, not hinder. This careful balance is the very thing that keeps these communities alive, safeguarding a form of wealth that cannot be counted. In the end, this careful and considered approach to progress reveals the true wealth of the mountains. We search the world over for success and fulfillment, but perhaps these inhabitants, hidden from the rush of the world, have possessed it all along. Theirs is a life that demands immense resilience, a deep-rooted simplicity, and a profound connection with nature that the modern world has largely forgotten. It is not an easier life, but a more deliberate one. These villages stand as a quiet testament that it is possible to live fully without being consumed by the pressures of relentless growth. They prove that true balance is not about having more, but about valuing what truly matters: the strength of community, the rhythm of the seasons, and the harmony between tradition and carefully chosen progress. Far from the digital noise and chaotic pace of our cities, they remind us of a power we all possess, but seldom use the power to live in tune with our environment and at peace with ourselves. The ultimate question their existence poses is not whether you could live on these mountains, but what essential pieces of their world you could bring into your own. If you find this video interesting and meaningful, don't forget to like, share to spread the story to more people, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next journeys. Your support is the motivation for us to continue to explore. record, and share wonderful things from all over the world. Thank you very much.